relax. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised like that if I wasn't like 14 weeks out. Pretty wild. So guys, Coach Cam's in town. As you guys might see, this is gonna be a collab video. So we just woke up, it's 8 a.m. Well, we woke up a bit ago, we just got some Starbucks as well. So gotta get caffeinated. I love coffee and prep, so can't start my day without coffee. So we're gonna do a full day of eating, and Cameron's gonna do a mock peak, or kind of a mock carb up, since we've been really depleted, pushing it down. So woke up at 231.4 this morning, which is the lowest ever in this prep. Yeah, 2 pound drop from yesterday. And my legs are still a little inflamed, so I think we could have been digged a little lower. So it's good. So 231.4, and we're gonna start filling out from here. So
yeah, we knew that I was gonna be coming out here a few weeks ago, and so I talked with Anton, and I thought the way that we could create the most value to this trip and me coming out here, I've been making an effort to essentially see him about once a month in person. Was, you know what, we'll go ahead, we'll make a push, we'll get you down to your flattest but also your leanest spot of the prep, and then when I get out there, we'll feed you back up. So by me coming out here, I'm able to see him essentially, as I said, at his flattest and leanest point, and then I'm going to go ahead and kind of test some data, some refeed numbers, and see how he responds to it. That way I can get eyes on him, you know, at both ends of the spectrum, where he's at his most depleted spot so far for the prep, and, you know, where we fill out to, and what that fullness and roundness seems to look like, and what it brings out at this point of the prep.
fuck yeah. You can see we come prepared for this prep. It's 14 weeks out, but we're already tracking every little thing, all the data we can get right now. So obviously we're not carving up on shitty food. We're just gonna track the amount of carbs I'll take to really fill out. And then from then moving forward, we're gonna know this is how much I need to eat to, you know, get my body back to a full state. So depending on how things go today, we're gonna just keep that locked in, and probably it's gonna be our baseline for even the peak week in 14 weeks. So we're really, really analytical and scientific about this. So let's hit another round. Just, I think I could definitely close a little bit better. Yeah, we gotta show the cheeks out for the boys again. Oh, it's not as organized, but we used to have very organized Jordan. Yeah. Very organized cabinet back maybe 3 days ago, but each time I fill up my subs, I just rotate everything around. But I'm gonna show you guys what I have before my meal one. So I usually start off with my digestible drink. I usually start off with my digestion drink, but it's a lot less complicated than it used to be, because I found out that I don't do that good with aloe vera juice anymore and apple cider vinegar, so I just took that out. So all I do is glutamine. I do about 15 grams of that, and then I do 10 grams of creatine, which my total for the day is 20. I'm experimenting with going a little higher, and it helped me with brain function. That's what I definitely noticed. I don't know about fullness in the gym, but it definitely helped me out with feeling a little bit more sharp. Plus, not having to eat that much, like, you automatically become sharper without, you know, having so much carbs just like weighing you down, the blood sugar crashes. So I'm gonna do 15 grams of glutamine, 10 grams of creatine, and then the key ingredients to this are the Access Ledge greens. So I'm gonna throw in like half a scoop now. So I'm not going too crazy just because I have greens in my diet. Now I'm consistent with that. I'm very consistent with everything right now, actually. Even though we're 14 weeks out, I already track myself with little salt packets and try to limit like artificial drinks, which yesterday I had a good amount because we went to movies. So I'm running very low here. Oh yeah, Toy Story 5, guys. It was actually very good. It's gotten good ratings. Obviously, I'll be honest, I was a little bored for a second there because it's a very kids movie. But there was some like really wholesome moments. So really, really lowered my cortisol for sure, just because I was pretty stressed yesterday having to drive so much and like driving the rush hour. So it was a perfect little mellow out moment for the brains. So we're gonna half a scoop of that. But Access Ledge is coming out with a lot more new products. And also Marek has come out with some health supplements that Access Ledge doesn't have. So I believe I'm allowed to promote that just because they're a separate entity. And yeah, so I'm gonna have this drink as well as the basic stuff from Max and Sledge. It's gonna be kidney plus, liver plus, heart plus. I'm out of joint plus, which my elbow could definitely benefit from that right now, but we're gonna get a re-up at the end of the month, so that's gonna be Gucci. And here I have a full load of, like a truckload of other subs, which I'm not gonna go in detail on all of them, but basically like vitamin C, K2, basic stuff. I also have Multi Plus for Max and Sledge as well, and just like all the Marek subs as well. So just, you know, all the basic bodybuilder thing you take just to prevent like any heart issues and other stuff, cancer, whatever. But all the other health subs basically. So we're gonna take this, and then we're gonna figure out what we're having for breakfast. So I'll show you guys what's in my breakfast on the high day at 14 weeks out. All right, as you guys see, the cortisol levels are going down. We got first meal, and it is a big one for sure. I don't think I've ever had this much cream of rice in a single bowl, but I did mix 90 grams of cream of rice, 60 grams of oats, so 150 grams total. And yeah, that's a lot of carbs, and 80 grams of blueberries in here as well. Also having 2 whole eggs, some cucumber, spinach, and just 15 grams of whey on top as a wheat drip. So this is my meal one, and I'm excited, man. Like, I haven't had this many carbs pretty much ever, so this is the most food Cameron has given me. We're pretty far out, so it makes sense to try this. I'm really flat, so this is really, damn, I'm like salivating. But this really makes sense to do this, so good thing we like variated between the carb sources, so a little bit of oats, a little bit of cream of rice, just so first our flavor fatigue, and then also from the digestion perspective, I think this is a little bit better to kind of vary your carb sources. But I'm gonna get this down, and then I'm probably gonna feel tired after this. Not even gonna lie, I didn't sleep that well last night. I had to pick people up from the airport and stuff. Cameron at night, Ken in the morning. So maybe I'll take a nap, probably not. But we're gonna get this down, feel the muscles filling up with carbs, and I'll see you guys when I eat my next meal. All right, guys, you know sweet and sour is like my favorite combination, so we got banana and beef. So 400 grams of rice, a lot of cinnamon, 100 grams of banana, and 140 grams of beef. So far in prep, I've been experimenting with like different protein sources, and you know, I'm not a big fish eater, but I'm trying out fish and ground turkey and chicken breast, as well as ground beef. So far, ground beef obviously is the hardest to digest, so I think when we do carb up, I might not even do any ground beef, just do like, you know, butter and fish, or butter and chicken, or ground turkey. But just playing around with it. Also in between my meal 1 and 2, I had some kombucha, just 8 ounces of that, just for some smoother digestion today. I want to make sure I absorb all the food, and my gut doesn't become too distended, which so far, that first meal laid down smoothly, so can't complain. You guys saw I like vacuumed up, cleaned up the apartment, since Maddie's like 4 weeks, she's almost 3 weeks out from her show, so I don't want to like stress her out. Plus she's out with her family shopping, so she's you know, so I don't want to bug her, and you know, I kind of like I don't know, I dropped some dirt from my Crocs on the floor, so I had to clean that up. So yeah, it is what it is. So we're on the house duty today, me and the boys. So we're gonna get this down. Also, in between this meal and the previous meal, we got on a call with Corey Linder, with me and Cameron, and he kind of gave him a breakdown of how my training's been going, and he's gonna sauce me up with a new like training plan, and gonna guide me throughout this prep, just because I had problems with my elbow, and I also just want to make sure I pack the muscle in the right spots and improve the weak body parts. So can't wait to eat this meal. It's probably my favorite meal of the day, honestly, just because this sauce with this meal, this is GQ's sugar-free Japanese barbecue, which has a lot of sodium, and usually I average like 3 meals. I usually average like 3 salt packets per meal, but with this one I did 2, just because this sauce is really heavy on sodium. So I gotta make up for that. So it's 400 mg of sodium in one serving, and I'm probably gonna have like 1.5 servings, which is like literally a one salt packet. So gonna get this down, and I'll see you guys when I eat my next meal. More expensive for no reason.
In front of us?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, it's not that expensive. Probably over 100K though. It's like white girl, like a new white girl Bronco.
White girl apocalypse.
Yeah, they just because they're fucking can't drive. All right, guys. So we just got done filming, like probably 5. Yeah, we did 5 reels for like the last 2 hours at this AR funnel, coaching, basically a coaching scaling business, and we're here just because we're filming a lot of reels for our seminar that we're doing, which is going to be Peaking Seminar, August 28th, I believe, that weekend. So I think from Wednesday to Saturday, and it's basically going to be like an inside look on how Cameron goes about peaking me and all of that. So it's pretty interesting. So we just got locked. So we just locked in and filmed a shit ton of content for that. And speaking of that, I just wanted to like also put it out there. I'm also going to be doing a guest posing in 6 weeks. So we'll have a lot of practice like peaking me. That is why doing this right now is very important. So we're definitely going to give you guys the final result tomorrow morning. Just give you guys a look at what this food has done to me. And that way we'll know, like, whenever we have to do a guest posing or another peaking seminar, how my body responds to, 700 carbs, 500 carbs, like certain amounts. So now we're going to get this meal down. We have 400 grams of rice, 150 grams of pineapple, 140 grams of chicken. So pretty basic, and sweet chili GQ sauce. I'm going pretty, I'm not trying to exclude all the flavors and sauces yet, just because I'm so far out, and I want to get to enjoy that a little bit more, because I know I'm going to cut them out pretty early on in prep. So I'm still using all the sauces, and it's not going to hurt me considering the conditioning that we have ahead of time. So yeah, really allows me to like have the meals with a little bit more enjoyment, and they're not as dry. So getting this down, I mean, I'm barely using any sauce, but just a little bit to give me a little extra flavor and get the chicken nice and juicy. So let's get this down, and I'll see you guys when I eat my next meal. By the way, don't skip out on cinnamon. Every meal we just cinnamon max, because we want to, it does help your blood sugar regulation, and it's really healthy for you and your heart health as well, cardiovascular health, I believe, as well. So let's eat. All right, guys, long day at work, and we're finally back home, and I'm noticing my face is leaning out big time. I think I'm dropping water from the carbs, so I'm feeling mad handsome right now. So we're gonna make our next meal. Oh shit, you flipped the camera.
Hey yo, hey.
My bad. Your mom's watching. But either way, we're gonna make our stir fry. And I've been a fan of making these, and I haven't done it with this much rice, so it's gonna be fun to eat. So I'll show you what I'm adding in terms of seasonings, because it's a big part of it to make it like taste more authentic, a little bit more flavor. So I just steamed a little bit of asparagus here, and I added whatever onions I had, maybe like 10 grams of that. So 75 asparagus, like 10 grams of onions. I'm supposed to get 100 grams of veggies, so I'll add a little bit of pico on top as well. And we're gonna add in the chicken, 140 grams here. And I like the chicken to get a little crispy before I add the rice. And as I added the chicken, I'm gonna add some extra seasoning on the veggies and the chicken. So I'm starting out with a salt-free garlic and herb. Not too much, because I'm running low, but this is what this looks like. I'm a big fan of smoked paprika. Like, if you guys buy paprika, you have to make sure you get the smoked, because smoked has that fire flavor. It's amazing. It smells so good. I'm gonna go pretty hefty on the paprika, just because I like it. And the key seasoning that I add to this one is Dash Southwest Chipotle. It's basically a mix of a bunch of seasonings, seasoning blend, as you might call it. And this one has like that chipotle flavor, so it's super fire. It also has paprika in it, but this is salt free, so I have no guilt adding it in, because I'm tracking my salt. So you're gonna throw this in for that extra flavor. That's what's gonna give it like that nice southern charm make it more like fajita tasting chicken. This is a good amount. And I'm just gonna like stir it up, make sure it gets crispy. And we're gonna add the rice pretty much immediately. So with this meal I'm having still a lot of rice, so 350 grams. I'm gonna add in right now. Where's the scooper? I don't want this stuff to burn too fast, but yeah, and this is how I make my stir fries, even if I have like 100 grams of rice or 350 on the dot. Even if I have like 100 or 250 on the dot, as I said, I still use the same method. I found out like having the chicken crisp up a little bit ahead of time is nice because you don't want to burn the rice too much, but you also want to add the crisp to the rice. So now we're going to add in the rice, and that way the rice stays a little bit less seasoned. So I really like the taste of the blend rice a lot, so I don't really want to season the rice all that much. So after I added the rice, I'm like to let the rice crisp up a little bit, mix it up with the chicken a little bit more. And with this meal I get 5 grams of coconut oil, so I'm just gonna add this as well, just to help it, you know, just to help it not stick to the pan as much, and it'll add a little bit of flavor, as well as just a little bit more texture, and make it like come together, you know, come to life. So I'm gonna do 5 grams of this. I'll actually use a fork because I'm gonna probably eat it with a fork. It's a lot of food. Fork or spoon? If you have very little food, I do a fork. But since we have more food today, I'm gonna use a spoon. So 5 grams of this shouldn't be that much at all. Like this was 7, so I can't even use that, all of that. But
Oh, shit.
6.5, whatever. It's gonna evaporate, so I'm probably not even gonna consume 5 here. So 6 on the scale, that works. So now all I gotta do is stir it up, and the stir fry is ready. So this is a master class. Gordon Ramsay is my stepdad. JK, but imagine though. That's why I'm so bold with my statements sometimes. That's why it's important to use a wooden spoon so you don't damage your pan. Even though I, you know, burn my shit to the ground here, it still doesn't damage my pan. My pan is still, even though it's beat up and I've had it for years, it's still doing pretty well. But now we're gonna add a little bit of salt. 2 packets, just because I'm probably gonna end up using some sauce with this. So I'm trying to, you know, not overdo the sodium, so we get an accurate weight response. But so far, the way it's trending, my body's just soaking in the food so nicely that I think we're gonna end up doing a lot of food tomorrow as well. There you go. I'm gonna like literally lick this off the spoon, but this is the meal. I already mentioned it's gonna be 350 rice, 100 grams of veggies, and 140 grams of chicken, along with 5 grams of coconut oil. So I'm gonna get this down, show you guys my next meal, and hopefully this digests well and we're gonna get a good look. So see you in the next one. All right, boys, next up we got my ground beef meal. So second to last meal. Very excited for the last meal. It's gonna be a sweet treat. But before we have that, we're gonna have this beef teriyaki meal that I made with this little teriyaki marinade, but so it's not sauce. So what I did, I basically fried up the beef on the pan and just added the sauce, mixed it up, evaporated some of the sauce so I don't have all of the sodium, but just a little bit, and it has a little residue of teriyaki sauce on it. So we're gonna eat this. 350 rice, 168 grams of beef, no veggies, you know, keeping the digestion a little less blocked. So we're gonna get this down nice and fast. From what I'm feeling so far, like the food is, my body's really soaking in that food. So probably gonna end up running another high day tomorrow, most likely. So, you know, can't complain about that. So excited to eat this as well. And yeah, Coach Cam.
Yeah, no, it's been super interesting. So today we you know, went out, recorded some stuff. You know, you guys saw that earlier. We got back, we're getting out the car in the garage, and I'm looking at Anton's face, and you know, I'm talking to Ken, and I'm like, Ken, like, Look at his face. And I swear look at him. Over the
Just
last
the camera.
like 24 hours, I feel like you can definitely see Anton's face starting to come in. So with us bringing up food today, it really makes me interested in also too in the gym. He lifted his shirt up and he had a level of dryness that's just a new kind of skin texture for him. Makes sense. We pushed down to a low this week within the prep, but I'm curious to see what his weight does tomorrow and if there's a bit of a cortisol dump that causes him to flush some water. And I think he's going to have a pretty dry but hard look tomorrow with some bit of fullness and pop. We might need a full another day of feeding to really have things saturate, but
or up the fats a little bit.
Yeah, I think fat's set at like 70 to 75 today, which relative to the amount of carbs he's eating, which I think was 700, 750,
yeah, exactly,
something like
700.
that. Yeah, it's not super high for where the carbs are at, but this is the most amount of carbs I've ever fed him before since I've been coaching him. So, figured it'd be cool for us to test that out today, be able to record it for the YouTube video, and I mean he's got way more size on him too. He's gonna need more food now. So.
Exactly. I think the final result tomorrow is gonna be pretty fun. But yeah, I'm hyped, man. This is things are moving in the right direction for sure. I was gonna mention one more thing. Yeah, we're also like pretty conservative with sodium, so I made sure to do like at least 2 salt packets per meal. Plus, I added the sauce. So if I had like a serving to like 2 servings of sauce, that would add up to like about 3 salt packets per meal. So the sodium was pretty controlled, not like the exact amount, just because I added the sauce, but other than that, I use salt-free seasoning, so it's pretty controlled throughout the meal. So I think that's also the reason why I'm flushing water so well. So it's not OD on the sodium, but just the right amount to like really refuel myself without spilling over and just like dropping that water perfectly. So yeah, we're still drinking over 5 liters of water. Plus, I had an energy drink, coffee. So the water is still set pretty high. Obviously, running through water could be a dangerous thing because, we are in prep, we're still training and all that. Today we took off, but overall, like, you want to have a good electrolyte balance in your body. So making sure, like, as you drop water, you refuel the electrolytes, so it has a good ratio. So you feel like better physically, and also overall you're not like messing up with your electrolyte balance. So I'm going to get this down. Chick-fil-A meal the day before a show, and I won that show. It was my regional show before I went pro. But now we're at the Olympia, so we can't take risks. I mean, maybe we'll have some dirty refeeds going into it if I'm like really in shape, making weight. You see, but either way, I mean, I feel like it could be a possibility if I'm like really low. We just gotta maintain the weight, but I don't really cry for shitty food. Once your food receptors get to point where everything tastes good, like you don't really care what you eat. Just having something to eat is good.
It's also not necessary for him. Like doing something like that, can he eat food like that and can he fill out? Yeah. But at the same time too, it just opens up possibilities and chances that I don't have full control over, and I can't guarantee security for how he's going to wake up the next day. It leaves question marks. And when I go about the prep with a controlled way of doing things, I know what to expect. I know what's going to happen. And I know if things go the opposite way, how to tweak things from a numbers standpoint and understand the actual numbers that went into it to modulate for the next time.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, like considering we have like a guest posing, we're having a peaking seminar, we're doing all these things, like we want to know how my body responds to the clean foods, just so as we don't go into the Olympia blindly trying to peak ourselves on like, random amounts of food. So that's what we're figuring out. That's why, like, too sad, but I'm announcing that I'm not doing any shows before the Olympia. So in order to focus on the Olympia and optimally, prime my body. So we're going to do a little meal progress update, but first we're going to start with coaches. And I see he's getting a milkshake while having grilled nuggets. So he's actually staying shredded while bulking. So you guys know the methods work.
We have the Cheeky Peach milkshake.
Oh, that's fire.
And then we have
the Georgia special, the Atlanta special in the house.
Grilled pimento, new Chick-fil-A
sandwich.
what?
You got to give me a review on it.
Oh, this about got caught.
No, you got to give me a review on it. I mean, I don't really care to eat that. Look at my beauty, bro. I get way more food. And all for the gains. So we got 4 rice cakes, caramel rice cakes, and 25 grams of almond butter, 15 grams of honey, some cinnamon drizzle up top, and then we got 45 grams of elevated creamy rice. I mixed 2 flavors, chocolate caramel and chocolate cake. Salted caramel and chocolate cake. And then we got 45 grams of whey drip from Accent Sled chocolate milkshake. I'm gonna pour this over this. I'm gonna pour this over the cream of rice to make sure it's nice and sweet. And if I have any extra, I'll probably put some on the rice cakes too. So, final meal of the day. And as we said, we're tracking everything just to see what we're gonna look tomorrow. Just to see what we're gonna look like tomorrow. So I'll see you guys tomorrow when we are all carved up and digested and ready to see the progression from today. So the totals for today were 308 grams of protein. We had 700 grams of carbs and 76 grams of fat. So pretty hefty. We still didn't lower the protein just because, we don't really need to. I feel like I will digest everything pretty well. And protein will keep me fuller. That's why actually I didn't have like crazy crashes in between meals. Like I definitely felt like my blood sugar going up, but like I didn't feel like my food was just running through me because I had a good amount of fat and like, a small amount of fat, but like a moderate, because I had a moderate amount of fat and, a good amount of protein with every meal. So that was enough for me, 700. Let's see if it got the job done. And next clip's gonna be tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. sharp. Cool. Starting the day off strong. Hold on. Fucking hold on. I'm not, I can't see. Should I make my stomach flatter? I feel like I need to go to the bathroom once again, but we up about 3 pounds, 3.5. So we were 231.4 yesterday, and right now we're 233.6. So that's 3.2.
2.0.
Oh, you see, like I literally just woke up, bro. I need that ghost energy to hit me right now. Like I'm usually pretty okay with math, but not right now. It's so slow. I feel fuller for sure.
Good.
Oh yeah, you can see a lot more. A little thicker. A little fuller. Back is a lot fuller. And quarters look even better now. Mm-hmm. That back relaxed, I'm pretty happy with. Jeez. I'm actually surprised my back has come up big time now. Thicker, and the width is added for sure. Mm-hmm. That was the biggest thing I wanted to add, like more width.
You look fuller throughout here.
Yeah, before I was going to bed, I'm walking around like I'm just trying to flex, but like I'm not, and my muscles just like. But yeah, honestly, I'm really happy with how this whole day yesterday went. I noticed, the first 3 meals were kind of running through me, and I separated them like a good amount. I could just feel like I was flushing water, and the meals were just sitting down really well. The last 3 meals though, they were like. I had to put them closer together, so I noticed I probably still have something to digest, so I might use the bathroom again if I had another like hour or so. So going up 2 something pounds is actually surprisingly, like, not even surprising. This is probably what we were looking for from this first day. So I'm actually really happy about the progress made with this refeed. We got a little bit more pop, a little drier, but still we're probably at like 80% fullness. So really, really happy about that. Yeah. So So definitely like the first 3 meals were just like hitting my baseline. The last 3 meals were really filling me up, and after like the last 3 meals, I barely even went to take a pee, which tells me that all the carbs, they just like attracted the water into the muscle, brought the water into the muscle and filled me up. So that's a good thing, because at first I was a little worried. I'm like, damn, like the food's kind of not sticking at all. But good thing we pulled out all the fat burners and everything else, just so the food is actually being absorbed properly, not just like burned through. So can't complain, man. Gonna have my first meal for today, and Cameron will talk to you guys about the game plan from now moving on in the jungle.
So it is 7 a.m. June 24th officially puts us 94 days out from the Olympia. Okay,
That feels like a long time, bro.
13 weeks.
13 weeks so closer than 94 days.
And yeah, so Anton was saying you were. I'm
231.4.
gonna scratch this. What was your weight on Tuesday?
So 231.4. I should have logged it in. I figured my bad. I figured you were here.
233.6 today.
233.6. Yeah, you're right.
And then
But as I'm saying, like I could probably use the bathroom just because I barely went. So probably a little lighter, realistically, but yeah. Yesterday we went and got coffee and everything. Like I walked around a lot. Not a lot, but I really think I could benefit from.
your first low day was on Saturday, right?
Hmm?
Low day was Saturday.
Yeah, we started Saturday. Yeah, it was my leg day. So we did like a new low diet approach for the last couple days, just to deplete myself a little bit more. But yeah, I think if everything was perfect, I probably would have only went up like 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds max. So we're slightly above 2 pounds here. So I think we could push for a little more fullness for sure. But I'm in that perfect spot where I'm not too full where it's hard for me to pose. Like I don't get out of breath, because that's usually what happens. Is how I know I'm like really full. It's like whenever I get a contraction, it's just like, bro, like I get out of breath. Like I'm getting such a pump from posing that it's hard to like do anything else. So I know I'm in a good spot here. Like bulk cut method is working.
Yes.
We're ready to cut.
So as he said, yeah, so definitely a little bit more full than yesterday, a little bit more pop to his physique, but we're only up 2.2 pounds realistically with a physique like that, with the level of muscle development that he has. If we're coming from a truly flat spot, 2 pounds usually isn't going to be enough to fill him out. Usually 24 hours also too is not a lot of time to refresh a body. So we're going to follow up yesterday's refeed day of 700 carbs and 75 fats with more of a moderate day today. I'm going to pull those carbs back closer to about 450, but I'm going to bring the fats up to 90.
Yes.
So I think this additional day, just alone having another 24 hours here, is going to make a big difference in regards to his physique, just having a certain level of freshness and recovery to it. The carbs continuing to stay elevated, not to the same degree, but still at almost 150 to 200 up from where his baseline diet is. Combined with us bringing the fats up even more, I think we're going to notice tomorrow morning a physique that's got just a little bit more pop to it, and just hold over a little bit better as well. And for me, when I put him back to his baseline diet, we should see, by having the second day added in, he's able to sustain something from a performance standpoint as well as a visual standpoint that holds just a little bit longer. If I put him right back to his baseline today, again, he was only up 2 pounds from his prep low, and we established that by adding in additional low days to drive a flat look to be able to refeed him. I think we'd be right back down to it really, really quickly. And again, he's 13 and a half weeks out. I don't need this guy flying down in weight right now. So we're gonna do exactly what I kind of just mentioned here, and yeah.
Cool. Yeah, honestly, we're not going to like start on editing this video until later, so we're probably going to give you guys a check-in from tomorrow as well, kind of give you guys the full look and the weight. But yeah.